Our first speaker is the National Association of Realtors. NAR! NAR! It's a dating app for realtors. NAR! 2018, first vice president. He's a third-generation realtor and the CEO and broker of Malta NAR in San Francisco, my hometown. Yay! He has been in the real estate business for 42 years and has served the industry in countless roles. On the national level, he has testified before Congress multiple times on behalf of NAR on issues such as the impact of increasing conforming loan limits, insurance reform, and housing policy. He has served on the NAR Board of Directors from 2002 to present and was the 2011 Vice President of Government Affairs. He is a graduate of the University of San Francisco and the University of San Francisco School of Law. Let's give it up for Vince Malta.
Alec, after that monologue, I have to tell you, I had sex this morning and now I felt I've had it twice. Has anyone seen my wife? No. So, when I got the invite to be here with you this week, I was so excited because so many of you are doing such incredible work in your local associations and your communities. You embody why I'm proud to be a realtor and in real estate. So thank you for all the incredible work that you're doing. On behalf of the National Association, I want to thank Jeff Berger for the wonderful work that he's doing with this association. Thank you, Jeff. John Graff, your policy chair, for the amazing work that you're doing with your as policy chair this year. John, thank you. You're working so hard on behalf of all of us for equality and sustainable home ownership. So today I have some very simple messages, okay? One of them you just heard was thank you, and you'll hear some more of that later. But the second message is that there is no doubt that the National Association of Realtors, the largest trade organization in the world, is in front of you, beside you, and behind you when it comes to fair housing. Our two organizations can work together to make sure that we can accomplish this. And as you know, sometimes these things don't happen overnight, but we continue to work at them and we achieve them when we work together. This year marks the 50th anniversary of fair housing, the Fair Housing Act of 1968, and we are commemorating this act this year. And notice that I'm not saying the word celebrate because we're not there for everyone, and we will be, and that's what we're working for. With your work and with the National Association of Realtors and other groups, we have come a long way. As you know, the National Association of Realtors did not support the Fair Housing Act in 1968. And yet, we have worked very hard to promote fair housing, and right now, given our code of ethics, we exceed the fair housing laws in this country because fair housing for all is embedded and encoded with gender identity, etc., in our code of ethics. So realtors and you are ahead in this fight. So thank you for that. So today I'm going to ask you to tell your story. And how do we do that? Many of you are doing that in your local and your state association. Many of you are doing that here by being here at this great organization. And yesterday I heard a wonderful story about a woman who in her twilight years is living in a senior facility and she had to go into the closet. Okay? And with your work, that's no longer going to have to be. That is a true success story, okay? And that is a story, and you have all those stories. So I ask that you be actively engaged in your association. I ask that you be engaged in the National Association of Realtors, not just with the fair housing issue, but all the issues that you have that you could bring to the table. Because while I say to you the National Association of Realtors is for fair housing, okay, and that will include gender identity, etc., to fair housing, okay, there are other issues that we deal with. There are issues with, as we dealt with tax reform, we're dealing with flood, we're dealing with the reformation at Fannie and Freddie, just to name a few. And what I don't want to see happen, okay, and I know that none of you want to see happen, is that fair housing is put on the back burner because we have a congressional representative that's with us on flood, and so we just need to tone it down a little bit because we need his or her vote on that particular issue. Fair housing is the pillar of our advocacy. That we cannot diminish for anything or anyone, okay? So I ask that you be engaged. Now, this year, our theme at the National Association of Realtors is Own It, okay? We have to own it in everything that we do as members, in our profession, etc. And there's two people this year that I'd like to present two Own It coins to that really demonstrate what that means, particularly in advocacy, because that's what I'm representing here today. And with that, I'd like to present an Own It coin to Wayne Woodward. Wayne? Wayne, thank you for recognizing discrimination and calling out Dana Rohrabacher, and thank you for your courage in bringing our message forward. And it shows that the National Association of Realtors can and will recognize that that won't be tolerated. So thank you, Wayne, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and the second coin, I don't know if he's here this morning, but the president of the California Association of Realtors this year has worked tirelessly for two statewide ballot measures, Prop 5, which would create the portability of owners' property tax base to another home, and the other one is Proposition 10, which would repeal Costa-Hawkins in the state of California. And that's our president, Steve White, who's gone above and beyond this year as president. So, Steve? Thank you. Now, well, I'll see you next week in Long Beach. I wanted to make sure that you're recognized for your great work. So thank you, Steve. So in closing, I wanted to talk about our new hire. We have a new chief lobbyist at the National Association of Realtors, and that was announced 2 days ago. And her name is Shannon McGann. She is going to be the first chief lobbyist of the National Association of Realtors in their 110-year history. And we're very proud of that. Now, a lot of you have come up to me and you've looked up Shannon McGann, and you will see that she's done a tremendous amount of work on the side of the Republican Party. Her husband, notably, was legal counsel at the White House for Donald Trump. And I was part of the hiring process for Shannon, okay? And while I can't discuss what happened in those deliberation or hearings, I will tell you that I asked her the question. It was a statement. I said, Shannon, you have a huge R tattooed on your forehead, and it's not the Realtor Party, okay? Realtors are bipartisan. Our issues transcend Republican and Democratic allegiances, okay? Give me examples as to how you were able to work with Democrats on issues and how you've bridged an alliance on those issues. And she went right down and provided some tremendous examples. So we're very proud that we will have Shannon working as our chief lobbyist at the National Association of Realtors, and I look forward to the opportunity of you meeting her as well. And I want to remind people that it's our story. It's the story that you're going to tell, a story that you're going to write, okay? And it will be our staff's mission to deliver that story. But again, you write that story, okay? It's us that create that policy. So I have to ask you, please be involved at your state, your local, and your national level, and write that story with us. So with that, I want to thank you for all that you're doing, and it's been an honor to be here over these last couple of days with you. So thank you very much.